What's going on? Today I'm going to do the rainbow landscape. It's going to be a beautiful composition, hopefully. Let's get right into it. Got some liquid white on the board here. I got some titanium white, Prussian blue, Van Dyke brown, crimson, phthalo green, sap green, magento. What have I got here? Looks like bright red and some cadmium yellow. So let's get right into the painting here. I'm going to pull out some Prussian blue. Pull out some Prussian blue. Get that right into the brush. And let's make a couple X strokes. And I want to make this thick today, the sky as thick as I can, because you know, when there's a rainbow, it's right after a rain. So we gotta make sure it's kind of a darker sky. That's what we're gonna make sure of. And I just want to just kind of get some random blotches of color in there. And when you're doing this, you gotta understand that it's taking a lot of titanium or liquid white in with it, so it's changing the color of your brush. The color of the paint. So anyway, let's just get this in here. Some nice Prussian blue. Really lay it on there. Get some nice color in here. Let's make a painting today, a nice color. All right. So then that looks about right. Okay, so now let's clean this brush. Some odorless paint thinner. And what I'm going to do, start from the bottom here. Grab some of that liquid white. I'm going to go all the way to the top. I want to leave these accents in here of different color. You see it granulating. So I like that. I'm satisfied with that. Liquid white is definitely not the easiest thing to add on. So today we're going to get into making this rainbow here. So let's go right into making this rainbow. Got a brand new fan brush here, maybe used once. I guess, yeah, I think it is brand new. I want to go right into some light Prussian blue. I just took some blue and I patted that in here. We need that a little darker. Let's get that a little darker. And let's start to make this arch. The arch of the rainbow. All right, and if you make this flat in any geometrical way, it's not going to look right. That's just the way it's going to work. So I'm going to grab this and I want to pull it down just to form that halo look. Just to form the halo look. Let's do one color at a time. All right, I'm going to grab that just with that fan brush still. And I'm going to start pulling from the liquid white area. And when we get this all together, we'll do a massive blend with a 2-inch brush. All right. Now what we want to do is we're going to get some liquid white. And I'm going to get a real light blue. I don't want it to be white, but just a real light blue. I'm going to go right over the top of that. Right over the top of that arc. All right. Now I'm going to grab my phthalo green. Right here. Let's Grab that phthalo green. Perfect. Let's just put that almost right on top of that. So we're dulling that liquid white. We're dulling it with that green. But we want that green to definitely show. I'm just going to pat that in there. All right. I'm going to go a little bit more liquid white. I want the liquid white to have the hue of green, phthalo green. See how that hue's there? That's all. Pretty simple. And then I just want to put a very light amount in here because this liquid white is going to spread over the green. We want it to be a nice bright rainbow. Yes, sir. Just like that. Okay, now we're going to go into the cad yellow. And that's really bright, or really dark, you know, a really thick, solid cad yellow. I want to get a little lighter yellow in here. Let's see how this looks on the board. Well, you know, it needs to be a little heavier than that. We're just going to tap that in just as if you're doing a tree. Just as if you're doing a tree, because that's going to turn into green. You know, if you get too much going on, it's going to definitely turn into green. So I'm just going to grab a little bit more of that yellow without making it green. I want a little touch of liquid white. So I want a little bit more yellow in there. I want it to be nice, visible yellow. All right. I like it, I like it, I like it. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go into a little bit of the liquid white. Then I want to form even a lighter yellow on the very top of that. And at the very end of the rainbow, usually it disintegrates down into here. But, you know, it might not be perfect. So now I'm going to pull some of this red. Tap that into the brush. And I want to get that just a small amount of red in there. And it's okay. Let the red pick up a little bit of blue. Totally fine. All right. So now comes the hard part, well, which I call the hard part. We're going to take a 2-inch or 1-inch brush. We're going to grab this and pull from this side till it blends into the canvas here. Okay, and we want to get that. We just want that a darker hue than what the canvas is. You know, we want to do this straight. So I'm going to pull that out. We're going to get that just like that. Now what I want to do is I'm going to take my brush. I'm going to do one stroke. Just like that. And, you know, the bottom disappears in a rainbow. I think it does anyways. So I just want that to just kind of almost go into nothing here. So I'm going to start from the bottom now and go up. Okay, we got a little bit of separation in the white. Let's pull this together here. Pull that together. Let's pull that yellow down together. Let's pull this blue up. I'm just kind of going back and forth in between these colors to really get a nice rainbow. I'm going to grab that and just blend this in. Simple as that. All right. So there we have us a little rainbow in there. Get a little color on the bottom. I'm just going to clean my brush out into the bottom here because I don't want it to be white. All right. And I'm going to get rid of any of these streaks that I see in here I don't like. Okay. Okay, enough of the rainbow. Let me get rid of all these marks. You got to start from one side and go to the other. Get rid of them marks. All right, so there we have that. Have a little rainbow in the sky. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to grab my knife here, and I'm going to make some clouds. So grab my Prussian blue and my red, mix that together. Form a nice dark color here. Just with these two colors. Maybe a touch of brown. Just a little touch of brown. Okay. I'm going to grab my 1-inch brush. I'm going to go in here and I'm going to make us some clouds. Let's scribble in some right here. Don't drop my brush. These gloves that I have on, I'm not used to wearing. So hopefully I don't drop anything. Where am I going to put this guy? Let's put him just right below him. Okay, and I think that about do it. I might make a little cloud right into here. All right, let's clean that off. Now what we want to do is we're going to get our fan brush out. We're going to make a golden kind of color, a gold. I guess that color will work right there. A little orange, I think. I'm just going to grab this orange. You know, this is right after rain. I mean, the only way a rainbow can be existing is if there was rain. So we need a little bit of dark clouds just to go with the composition. You know, and this is just a little bit of color I'm adding here. Just yellow, red, and white. I'm just trying to kill them dark spots because I want them dark in the center. But, you know, that may not work out that way. All right, now let's grab some liquid white and some titanium full white, you know, without linseed oil. We're just going to go in here and scrub these clouds right in here. Scrub these clouds right in. Let's go back into that color. Absolutely. I'm going to start with one corner of the brush. And then when that gets depleted, I'm going to go to the other corner of the brush. And just kind of dance it around in there. Just take one more little, I think we got to get some in through here. There we go. Let's get around that last perimeter of this cloud. See, just mix a multitude of colors together right on the canvas. We're going to take our 2-inch brush here. We're just going to grab it and pull it up. And try not to get all that complete white. We want the darks to stay in there. Just like that. There we go. I like it. I like it. I like it. So we got some clouds rolling in. Just diffuse these clouds. Just diffuse these clouds a little bit. You know, they're having a good old time up here. All right. Just going to puff a couple more spots out here. Just puff them out. Just going to use the corner of that brush. So we got us some clouds in the sky. So we got us a rainbow. We got us some clouds in the sky. I do want to lighten this rainbow up a bit here. Whatever. I'll leave the rainbow. Looks like the yellow might need to be a little bit brighter. That's just... We'll just add a touch of white. You probably can't even notice that at home, but just to make it pop a little bit more. What do we got here? All right, so we got everything rolling here. Now what we want to do, we're going to mix a dark color. Very dark color. We're going to go blue, brown, crimson, green. Let's get a pile of paint going here. We want that in the green hue, I would say. So grab a little bit more green here. Just a huge pile of paint. All right. Now I'm going to grab my 2-inch brush. Tiny bit of paint thinner. I'm going to pull this dark color out of here. And I just want to think of the lay of the land where I want it to be. I'm going to create a little mountain here. Not a mountain, a hill. And then I want it to kind of level out right there, I would say. So that's what I'm going to make. I would say that's the terrain I'm looking for. And then let's just fill the rest of this in. Get that color a little more dark. little more paint thinner. Touch that paint thinner right into here. Get that brush loaded with paint. You know, this is why Bob Ross liked the black canvases. You know, it fills this area in pretty darn good. We just want to diffuse all this white color. Just diffuse all that white color. Yeah. Little bit of work, but you know, I'd rather do this than have the black canvas and the white canvas and mess around with more technicalities. But that's just me. So I'm going to get this all covered. There we have it. It's still pretty light. So I'm just going to hit that brush off. Now I'm going to go into some thicker paint. Go into some thicker paint now and fill in these voids. Just use up all that paint I got. All right. So now we got that kicking for us. Got a nice dark background here. Nice dark background. All right. I think we're done with that 2-inch brush for now. The number one thing here was just to cover. We just needed to cover this whole kit and caboodle. So let's go ahead and let's grab the 2-inch brush, and I'm going to go right into some green, some nice thick green here. Pull that out in the brush, and then tap it in there until you see those little peaks come up there. I'm just going to start with this first little layer. I want there to be a little bit of green. Just like that. All right. I think that'll work. Now I'm going to grab the fan brush. I'm going to go right into my yellow, right into my cad yellow, a little bit of green. Just tap that brush in there as if it's a 2-inch brush. And I just want the very top of that to be yellow, just to kind of make it look like trees in the distance. That's the goal here, I guess, right? And see how I got that little break right in there where it looks like it's fading away. You know, that's kind of what I'm looking for. You know, so now I want to make a dark blue. So I'm going to go blue, crimson, blue and crimson. Okay. What I want to do is grab my 2-inch brush. I'm going to get it full of paint so I see those peaks in there, which I see. I'm just going to start to bring this down. Just start to bring this down just ever so lightly. Slightly. Go back into that paint there. I'm just trying to make layers at this point. Layers, layers, layers. All right. Now, let's grab our fancy fan brush here. We're going to go into the magenta. And I want to grab that just the same way. I'm going to load my brush and then tap that color in there. I'm just going to start way over here at the corner of the fan brush. And I just want to give it the illusion that there's a row of flowers back here. And that's all I'm looking for. And I want the dark to be under there, and I want the light to be just like that. All right, so I'm happy with that. I think I'm going to put in a little bit more right on the top, just to make it pop out and separate a little bit more, just to make it look like a row of flowers. Now the next row, we're going to go back into some green here, and we're going to go back into that color we made here with the red and blue. I'm going to tap that in. And with that, I just want to go right underneath this guy. And I want that to be more of a green. More of a green. Get rid of all that dark blue here. All right. Grab the trusty old fan brush. Let's go dance back in between my green and my yellow. Thick paint. We want thick paint this time. I'm just going to dance in a little field of some yellow flowers here again. But I definitely want to keep that darker area in there. Let's just grab this, and we're going to pull up a little tiny bit on the ends here, just so people can use their imagination on what they think that stuff is back there. Imagination is good. All right. Now let's start our next layer, which we're going to go back into the dark. We just want the red and that dark color we had earlier, and we're going to put that in the brush, mix it all together. And this is going to start somewhere over in here. And now the hill is going to form a little bit more. Yeah, we need this dark color on this guy for sure. And this is going to be just a real small layer, a smaller layer than all the others. Well, not really. We'll see. Not really sure how it'll turn out. Best intentions, of course. Now I'm just going to go ahead and I want pure white. Pure, absolutely pure white. I'm going to push up on the brush. Just like that. And I'm just going to start with a lighter white here. I know it's dulling off, but I want to get this, before I clean my brush, I want to get this as white as I possibly can without diffusing all the dark color. Just like that. Now I'm just going to go into straight liquid white and pull a little bit out of the actual white. I want to start making little rows of white flowers coming up here. Beautiful white flowers. That's what I want to start making. Got to clean your brush every time you go back in there. Yeah, let's just start making these little white flowers. Just really, really start pushing them in there. And I got a nice row of white flowers. I'm going to go to the next row. Let's grab all that black stuff again. Just all that malarkey there in the center. We're going to come up right underneath here. We're going to make another row of a light color. So we want this to be dark so that that color will pop. I'm not talking about soda. See that catch? It's all on the wrist there. It's because of these gloves, man, you know. I ran out of dark color, so I'm going to grab some blue, brown, crimson, green. Yeah, mix them up on there nice and good. Get a nice dark color. Hopefully that'll last us through the rest of this. So I'm going to try to go thick paint here. Thick, thick, thick. Dark, dark, dark. You know, it's good to have a different color. See how it's darker than my last green I used here? I like that. I'm trying to create separation between my layers as much as I possibly can. Now I'm just going to go into straight red. Straight red. I'll start that way back in here. Just rows of beautiful flowers today, man. I mean, how can you go wrong with that? Go back into my straight red. Get some color on the canvas. Yeah, buddy. Now I'm going to grab a touch of liquid white, which works very well for this, you know, this painting. I don't want it too chalky. Then I'm just going to go in here and I'm going to touch to form peaks. Peaks on the paint. I'm going to come in here. I'm going to fill in these areas here without taking all the dark areas out, which isn't easy. Let's go in here. Put in some beautiful red flowers. Just like that. I got away from us a little bit there. I squished a little too hard. So we got a part that's smudged a little bit. I'm just going to go back into my pure red. I'm just going to go back in there and pat that down. Just to clear that up. Clear that little area up there a little bit. And some other areas that I might have hit too heavy. I just want to make a nice patch of red. You know? Let's kind of blend that in a little bit here. I like that. I like that. Now I want to go back to that dark color. Load that brush full. And I'm pushing pretty hard into the canvas at this point. Just to get that dark color in there. A lot of paint on the canvas at this point. So be careful. Just gonna grab my 2-inch brush. I'm gonna draw the rest of this out. Just draw it out, put it in my brush. Let's just go to town. Let's just go to town here. Get rid of these light colors. And I'm doing it all by squishing the brush into there. I'm not smearing. Smear as less as possible. We're blotting it in there. Right, now I'm going to go with a green. A light green. I would say that color works. And this is just thick paint. This is not thinned, although you might want it to be. But I'm just applying paint on top of paint on top of paint by controlling thick to thin. So what I'm saying is, this is thick. The last stuff I put on was thin. Why was it thin? Well, because of the liquid white. The liquid white was in there. That's why. That is why. And I want this color to go all the way to here. I'm just going to keep pulling out that yellow until I get a definitive green line in there. You might not be seeing this at home. I have no idea. All right, now let's turn these into dandelions. Let's go with yellow. I'm going to take some liquid white. Just a touch of liquid white goes a long way. There we go. There we go. Just make this a colorful field. Turn that brush around. Yeah, man, we got some stuff going here. Nice, bright row of flowers. Nice, bright row of flowers. Love it. I'm just going to keep plugging away at these flowers. Just keep plugging away. I'm just putting color in this canvas. Just keep plugging away. All right. Now what I want to do is I want to fill in some of these voids here. Kind of make that come together a little better. Now that it's getting closer to us. Now what I want to do is I'm just going to create some some green flowers, I would call it. It's just to add layers. I'm trying to add layers here. That's some liquid white in this green. I'm gonna come through here. Got a green layer. I'm going to keep adding just a touch of liquid white to this guy because I want it to be a little bit different. It's layers. Whatever it is, it's layers. You know, it could be, I don't know, beautiful flowers. It could, I don't know what it could be. And at the end of that, I'm just going to grab some phthalo green. I just want to add a little touch of phthalo green to the bottom of here just to separate some things. Just to get a nice variety of color in there. Now what we're going to do is a tedious part. I would say the tedious part. We're just going to grab magenta, just straight magenta. I'm just going to get some magenta on the painting. Get some magenta on the painting. You know, because that's how we're going to finish this painting here up close here. Putting some magenta on there. They're individual little flowers, I'm thinking anyway. So I'm trying to keep my brush spinning to form different looking hits. Yes. Whoop, 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 whoop. Way too much paint there, bud. And I'm just about done to the end of here. Just like that. All right, so we got a bunch of magenta on there. Now what I'm going to do, liquid white and magenta. And I want to make sure that I don't have any solid blotches of white on there. That'll look silly. And I'm just going to simply push up on my fan brush the whole time while it's kind of turning. Otherwise, you'll get the same uniform look. Just keep pushing up on that. Give her different angles. Just keep giving it different angles. Try to give it an illusion. You know? It's all just an illusion. And before you know it, I'll be done here. Yes, sir. Yeah, we got flowers coming out of here. A little bit brighter. So there you have it. We have us a field here, a rainbow field. Clean out this 1-inch brush. Saw something in there I didn't like. All right, I still see it. Not a big deal. Just like a difference in color there that I'm seeing that I didn't see before. Anyways, I could spend all day doing this. So there we have a lot of it done here. So what I want to do now is I'm going to grab the liner brush. Well, no, I'm going to grab this brush, the palette knife here. Let's grab a bunch of this dark color I got. All right, then we're going to start by putting in a tree right here. All right. Why not put a tree in? And I want him to go up all the way to the end of the canvas here. All the way up. All the way up to there. Let's just give him the right size here. We're going to have to thicken him a little bit more down here. I think I can work with that. All right, then up on the hill here, we're going to have ourselves another couple trees. Kind of grabbing all these colors and it's kind of mixing together. So let's just say he's right here. He's going to be a little bigger. All right, so now we're going to grab the liner brush. We're going to make us some real thin color here. We'll load that brush full of that thin color. First off, I just want to reshape these trees a little better. All right. All right. Let's start with this guy here. And let's just start building us a tree here. Building us a tree. Yep, and I'm just going to keep rolling here through here. Keep building us his trees. Yes. Keep moving. And we'll be done here with this tree in a second. All right, let's get this other tree figured out here. What he wants to be done here. Never enough paint thinner. Boy, I have a lot of paint on by them clouds. All right. You know, the hardest part that I've ever had to deal with is the trees. Or the limbs, anyways. Right? All right, so we got us a couple trees in there. Now let's go build that big tree. We're just gonna whip him right out. Get us some tree in there. Build this tree as we go. Just build him up there. All right. All right, so we got some trees in the field. I'm gonna grab the fan brush. I'm gonna go dark green. It's gonna go right into all these dark colors. All right. Right over that precious rainbow we did there. I'm just gonna hit some leaves in here. That's what I'm gonna do. Just like that. Try to keep them branches. Just hit these in there. Right now we got that same color on the brush. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna color this guy in. Just with some dark colors here. Had a hair fall out of the brush there, tried to wreck my painting. Not today. All right. Well, this guy over here, let's give him some yellow highlights. Give him some yellow highlights. Maybe on one side of him. He's got some orange coming in through there. Yeah, I like that. This guy here, he's dead, man. He didn't make it. He didn't make it. Didn't make the cut. Did not make the cut. This guy here is living proud right on the top of the hill, man. Now, let's get some real nice yellow in here. Let's just try to make these the same trees. Let's try to make them the same trees. Yes. That is what we're going to do. All right. Need to thin that paint on a little bit. Doesn't like me. All right, let's just get this tree pushed in here. Push them right in. And maybe he's got a little orange too on the bottom parts of his branches. It's fall time out there. All right. Take some red, yellow, brown, and white. And just a tiny, tiny bit of paint here. We'll go over to here. This little guy deserves a little bit of light too. All right. So there you have it. Another painting in the books. This is the rainbow. Thank you.